These Raleigh suburbs are absolutely going to explode in 2026. Many of these are absolute ground floor opportunities. And with over 1,000 people moving to the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area every single week, it's really important to know the fast-growing towns from the ones that are lagging behind. Today's video is going to break down in detail all of the top fast-growing towns and cities around Raleigh. We're going to give you information about how quickly they've grown, some really great things you can do there outdoor-wise, shopping-wise, restaurant-wise, and some really good neighborhoods that you may want to keep your eyes on. First up on our list is one of the fastest growing cities in the entire United States. That is Apex, North Carolina. Apex has grown from 58,500 people or so in 2020 all the way to 82,000 people now in 2026. That's just absurd, crazy growth. One of the reasons why is because Apex was voted the #1 best place to live in North Carolina, and again, one of the top places to live in the entire United States. And Apex just has a ton to offer. Number one, it's got a fantastic location. You're only about 20 minutes to the RDU International Airport from most parts of Apex, and you're about 23 minutes to the Research Triangle Park. And of course, you're right next door to Cary, so you get to take advantage of all the really cool stuff that's happening and growing and developing in Cary right now. There's also really great shopping in Apex right now. Of course, you've got the Costco, which is right there between Apex and Cary, leaning more towards the Apex side. You've got tons of really great grocery stores like Publix and Wegmans. And of course, you've got the other big box stores like Target and Starbucks and things like that. Plenty of options for people in Apex. And there's also tons of really great independent mom and pop stores in Apex as well, like Apex Outfitters. It's really, really great quality of life and really great shopping and restaurant scene. And speaking of restaurants, with Apex, you've got tons to offer. Beyond the major chain restaurants that you would expect to find in just about any decent sized city in the United States, Apex has really got some very, very cool restaurants as well, like Scratch Kitchen and Tap Room, Daniel's Italian Restaurant, and the Salem Street Pub. Really popular local hangouts for people that are in the know in Apex. Definitely places we recommend you go check out as well. And of course, there's plenty to do in the great outdoors if you are into that sort of thing and you live in Apex. The Wake County Greenway system runs through Apex, so you are easily able to get on that and go biking, hiking, walking, running. As well, there's the Apex Nature Park and Pleasant Park, among many, many others in Apex that you can go take advantage of the great outdoors, get a little exercise, hang out with the family. But really, one of the big things about Apex that makes it really stand out is there's tons of really cool festivals that they have throughout the year, including Apex Peak Fest that happens in the spring in downtown Apex, and the old-fashioned 4th of July, which of course happens on Independence Day. Also, Apex has a really, really cool Christmas parade. So tons of stuff that happens all throughout the year, usually happening in downtown Apex, brings a lot of people in that direction. But again, there's nothing to be said bad about that. That is a really, really cool area. Lots of cool shops and restaurants and that sort of thing in downtown Apex. Housing-wise, Apex has got most everybody covered as well. Prices are currently running between $277,000 and $2.8 million for homes currently for sale in Apex as we're filming this video. We also want to tell you about a really cool neighborhood that's coming to Apex that's absolutely going to be driving a lot of growth, and it certainly is driving a lot of buzz currently, and that is Veridia. Veridia is easily the most significant project that has ever come to Apex ever. It sits on 1,100 acres, so huge project. It's a mixed-use community, so you're going to have shopping, you're going to have restaurants, you're going to have housing, and it's basically going to be the new urban core of Apex when all is said and done. The goal is to be a extremely walkable, consumer-friendly community that you can easily get from your home to the shopping areas, etc., all around, and the parks, everything that Veridia is going to have to offer, and be able to get there very, very easily by walking. It's located just south of downtown Apex, sort of at the intersection of 540 and US 1. All told, when it's built out, it's going to have over 8,000 housing units. These include single family homes, townhomes, and apartments. And amenities in this neighborhood are absolutely going to blow your socks off. 200,000 square feet of commercial space. And of course, this includes retail, residential, and office. There's also going to be a 340,000 square foot Wake Technical Community College location here in Veridia. It's going to be able to educate over 3,000 students. Also, 1.3 million square feet of office, life sciences, and research facilities right here in the neighborhood. And also just recently announced, really big news for Veridia, the North Carolina Children's Hospital is going to take up 230 acres inside Veridia. This hospital is a joint venture between UNC Medical and Duke University Medical. It's going to be the second largest freestanding children's hospital in the entire country. It's coming to Veridia. It's underway right now. In addition to all this, there's also going to be 25 acres of green space inside the neighborhood. So again, very, very easily walkable. They're even going to put a Wake County public school right there in the community. So some of the kiddos will be able to walk easily to school. This is going to be an amazing project, as you can imagine. Again, super great location. You're only about 6 minutes or 3 miles to downtown Apex as it stands. But frankly, with all the great stuff that's going to be going on in Veridia, it's unlikely that a lot of the residents are even going to need to be leaving the neighborhood. Best news of all, this neighborhood is already underway now. They expect to be completely built out by 2029. So again, huge development for Apex, huge development for the region, and it is one of the main drivers driving Apex to see the growth that it's seeing currently. Next up, we need to tell you about another amazing city that is seeing a growth spurt near Raleigh, North Carolina, and it is frankly one of our favorite cities in the entire Raleigh Triangle area. That is Wendell, North Carolina. Wendell has grown from about 9,800 people at the 2020 census all the way up to over 20,000 people currently. It's definitely growing even faster, so we expect in the next few years to see even more people showing up on that census report. The things we love about Wendell, it has a really amazing, charming downtown area that's really been revitalized over the past few years. You can get everything from going to an ice cream parlor, a brew pub, coffee shops, multiple restaurants. There's even a farm supply store down there, just about anything you could imagine. Really, really cool place to go hang out, stroll, have a meal, get a cup of coffee, etc. right there in downtown Wendell. Also, it has a really, really amazing location. Thanks to Interstate 87, Interstate 540, and Highway US 64, it's super easy to get most anywhere in the Raleigh Triangle area very, very quickly. One of the things that was a slow driver that caused Wendell to not grow really rapidly in the past 10 years or so was the fact that it looked like, and it was out kind of to itself out in the east. Now with Interstate 87, you can be in downtown Raleigh in about 15 minutes, and Knightdale is only about 5 or 10 minutes away. And of course, another huge thing that's driving growth in Wendell is Wendell Falls. Our team has sold a number of homes in Wendell Falls. In fact, a couple of our agents live in Wendell Falls. That's how much they love it and how much we love it. And it's really, really completely transformed Wendell. It has lots of really great walking trails in the neighborhood, very, very charming facades of the homes. The farmhouse that the developer has put there has a really cool fitness center, meeting room, little cute coffee shop, restaurant, really amazing swimming pool there, the whole 9 yards right in Wendell Falls. It's driven a lot of people there, and it's also driven a lot of commercial growth. T-Light Square is a section of Wendell Falls where have commercial stuff, including a Publix grocery store, Starbucks is there, Bojangles is there, and a couple of really nice restaurants like Parkside Restaurant from downtown Raleigh has got a second location there, and City Barbecue also has a location there. So lots of really cool stuff in Wendell Falls, commercial, restaurant-wise, shopping-wise, and even more is coming in the new section of the commercial section of Wendell Falls very, very soon. Also, another great driver of Wendell causing a lot of this growth is, frankly, it's a really great value. You can get a larger house on a larger lot in Wendell versus other places in the Raleigh Triangle area like Raleigh, like Cary, like Apex. So for the same money, you're going to get more house, more land, and that's something a lot of people are requesting these days, calling us about, asking about. And so, of course, we recommend they check out Wendell. For the outdoor enthusiasts out there, Wendell's got you covered as well. There's the Mill Pond Preserve, the Turnip Seed Nature Preserve, and the Wendell Park, among many other parks in the Wendell area. Price-wise, Wendell's got you covered there as well. Prices currently range from $230,000 up to $2.1 million for homes in Wendell. Bottom line, Wendell benefits from its close proximity to both Raleigh and Knightdale, as well as, of course, the growth that has been experienced with Wendell Falls and all the other smaller neighborhoods that have sprouted up and are moving into the Wendell area. You get really great, easy access to everywhere in the triangle through the interstate system that's right there at Wendell. Plus, you get the amazing small town feel that so many people are looking for these days by living in Wendell, and especially by hanging out in and around that downtown area. The next town we have to tell you about is right next to Wendell and is really probably the most up-and-coming town on this entire list, and that is Zebulon, North Carolina. So forever, Zebulon has been pretty much an afterthought. Most people never really thought about moving out that way, but as prices have started increasing in Raleigh, Cary, Apex, and all the other big cities around the Raleigh Triangle area, the builders and buyers are starting to focus their sights on Zebulon, and frankly, Zebulon has a lot to offer. Growth there has been insane. Just 6,900 people called Zebulon home in 2020. Now that number is up to 13,000 here in 2026. And there's some really, really great things to love about Zebulon. Median home price is currently coming in around $325,000. And it's a great location. You're only 30 minutes to downtown Raleigh from Zebulon. And there's some major employers that have put down roots in Zebulon, making it that much easier for residents to find jobs. For example, GlaxoSmithKline has a facility there. US Foods and Nomace also are located in Zebulon, among many, many others. There's also some really great shops and restaurants in Zebulon, like the Old Raleigh Distillery, where yes, they make liqueurs. Southland Steakhouse, where they make steaks. The Creative Cup Coffee Shop, where I believe they make coffee. And McLean's Old Time Cafe are all here in Zebulon. Really, really cute, very nice, great places to hang out in Zebulon. And it's one of the really compelling reasons why so many people are moving there. For all the outdoor lovers out there, Zebulon's got you covered as well. There's the Little River Park, Zebulon Community Park, and the Sandy Pines Nature Preserve right there in Zebulon. Prices for homes in Zebulon are currently ranging from $240,000 all the way up to $4 million for a home in Zebulon that comes with 76 acres and a 7,000 square foot house. And speaking of housing, probably the major thing that's driving a lot of growth these days in Zebulon is a neighborhood called Ponder. Ponder sits between Wendell and Zebulon, more on the Zebulon side of things, and it's from the people who developed Wendell Falls that we talked about earlier in this video. And there's also the same builders that were building in Wendell Falls are now building in Ponder. So as you can imagine, as successful as Wendell Falls was, we certainly expect Ponder to be not anything any less spectacular than Wendell Falls. And certainly we are very excited about Ponder. We've put it in multiple of our videos recently. We recommend you go back and check those out. Again, it's from the people who brought you Wendell Falls, so there's gonna be some really amazing amenities attached to this neighborhood. This developer is pretty unique. They do all the developing of the amenities on the front end of the neighborhood. Typically, most developers and builders will wait till the neighborhood's gotten underway before they do any community amenities, but that's not the way these guys operate. The amenity center is going to be sitting on a 5-acre piece of land in Ponder. The community center is called Ponder House. It's going to have a lake sitting beside it, swimming pool, fitness center, community meeting area, really, really top-notch facilities. All told, it's going to have 1,930 homes when it's all built out. These are going to be single-family homes and townhomes, again, in the same style that you would have seen in Wendell Falls. And prices are expected to range in the 300s to the 900s in Ponder. Ponder is going to really emphasize nature with 120 acres of green space and parks right there in the neighborhood for the residents to enjoy. There's also going to be that signature lake beside Ponder House I just told you about, as well as a river, a fishing pond, and 2.5 miles of public Wake County Greenway space. They've already started construction on Ponder. Pre-sales are expected to begin the summer of 2026, and all the amenities are expected to be complete, Ponder House, by the end of 2026. So super exciting news for the Wendell, Zebulon area of the Triangle. Definitely driving a lot of growth for really both cities, but most certainly for Zebulon. Next up, we have another really up and coming town in the Raleigh area that really didn't get very much publicity or notice for many, many years. That's all changing now. We're talking about Pittsboro, North Carolina. Pittsboro has really seen some amazing, crazy growth over the past few years. You're not gonna believe, get this, only 4,500 people lived in Pittsboro as of the 2020 census. It's expected over the next 30 years that over 60,000 people will live in Pittsboro. That's insane growth. So for a long time, as I said, Pittsboro was a really sleepy little town. The closest city to it is about 30 minutes away. That is Chapel Hill. And so people really didn't think to move there, but all that changed when Chatham Park came online. And for those who don't know, Chatham Park is going to be a 27,000 home mega neighborhood sitting on 8,500 acres. All told, it's going to have over 22 million square feet of office and research facilities right there in the neighborhood. They basically are calling it a mini Research Triangle Park. And when it's all built out, it's expected to have anywhere between 50 and 60,000 residents living in this neighborhood, Chatham Park. It's basically a mega community with neighborhoods inside of this mega community. Mosaic is one of the neighborhoods there. North Village is there. South Village is there. And of course, Disney's Asteria is coming to Chatham Park as well. Location-wise, as we've already said, you're about 30 minutes from Chapel Hill Carborough and only about 35 minutes from the Research Triangle Park and the RDU International Airport. So fairly good location, but with all that's coming to Pittsboro, most of the people that live in Pittsboro are going to be pretty self-contained living there. One of the really great things about Pittsboro currently is it has a really super charming downtown. Iconic building right there as you go in the circle. It's really, really great photo. Some really nice little shops and restaurants. My favorite restaurant in Pittsboro and in downtown Pittsboro is S&T's Soda Shop. They got the recipes from the Rathskeller in Chapel Hill when the Rathskeller went out of business. And for those who don't know, the Rat was like the major restaurant that people would go to after football and basketball games. The alumni would come back. It was a really big deal. And S&T's was able to buy those recipes and create some of those great things like the super gooey, cheesy lasagna and the Gambler and the Double Gambler. Really, really great little restaurant there right in downtown Pittsboro. Definitely adds to the charm. There's also some really nice fine dining restaurants in the Pittsboro area that we need to tell you about, including the Sycamore and the Farrington House restaurant. Farrington is a tremendous community right there in the Pittsboro area. Very, very famous. And the restaurant is one of the top restaurants in North Carolina. Highly, highly recommend you go check that out if you go exploring around Pittsboro. Shopping wise, it's pretty much the same as with the restaurant scene. Lots of independent mom and pop shops in Pittsboro currently. Although you do have some large grocery stores like Lowe's Foods, and certainly with the population growth that's going on in Pittsboro, we're expecting more and more of the big box major retailers to make their way to Pittsboro. For outdoor recreation, you have a number of really great parks right there in Pittsboro, including Town Lake Park, Knight Farm Park, and of course the Jordan Lake State Recreation Area is right there in Pittsboro as well as the Lower Hall River Recreational Area right there in Pittsboro. Plenty of opportunities for people that like to get out and commune with nature. But of course, I must stress, people are not necessarily moving to Pittsboro right now for what Pittsboro is. They're moving for what Pittsboro is becoming. And of course, one huge driver of growth that we've kind of touched on a little bit already in this video is when Disney announced that they were bringing Asteria to the Pittsboro area and to Chatham Park. So for those who haven't seen any of our videos about this topic, and we highly recommend you check out our Disney Asteria videos, Disney has a division called Storyliving by Disney. They have a neighborhood in Rancho Mirage, California called Cotino, and it is the only neighborhood they have up and running currently. The second neighborhood that they have announced in the entire United States, in the entire world, is in Pittsboro, North Carolina. They call Asteria. It will be on 1,500 acres right there inside Chatham Park. It will have 4,000 homes when it's all said and done. It'll be a mix of apartments, single-family homes, townhomes, and duplexes. There'll also be a 55-plus only community right there in Asteria. It's going to be run by Disney employees, and their job is going to be creating some enrichment programs and really, really great benefits for the neighbors of Asteria. We're talking field trips out into the community, out into the world, cultural events, art classes, just about anything you can imagine will be right there in Asteria for the residents of Asteria to enjoy. Home sales are expected to begin in Asteria in 2027. And as you can imagine, Asteria is a big, big deal. It's throwing gasoline on the fire of Chatham Park. We're really excited to cover it for you and give you more information about Asteria as it comes online. Housing prices in Pittsboro are currently pretty diverse. You can buy a home in Pittsboro currently from anywhere between $235,000 and $7.1 million. So pretty much everybody is covered if they want to buy a home in Pittsboro. Next up, we have one of our favorite towns in the entire Raleigh Triangle area. We talk about it all the time on this channel. We've been talking about it the entire time we've had this channel, and that is Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina. Back during the 2020 census, about 34,000 people called Fuquay-Varina home. Currently, that number is all the way up to 50,000 as of 2026. And Fuquay-Varina has become really, really popular, as you can imagine, for a host of reasons, namely and especially the amount of new construction development that's going on there in the town. And again, like some of the other towns we've talked about here on this list, it's relatively affordable when compared to Raleigh, Cary, Apex, and a lot of other areas around. And one of the greatest things about Fuquay-Varina is it has truly got that small town charm, and it in fact has two different downtowns. For those who don't know, Fuquay-Varina is the creation of Fuquay Springs and Varina, North Carolina. They merged together to form Fuquay-Varina. They have their own individual downtowns, and they still retain those two downtowns. So it's a really, really great vibe in the Fuquay-Varina area. Lots of small mom and pop shops, lots of really great restaurants down there. But there's also lots of new construction commercial growth going on. Namely, Gold Leaf Crossing is a new large shopping center that's coming to Fuquay-Varina. There's already the big box stores like Lowe's, Hardware, Home Depot, Walmart, Target, etc. there. Gold Leaf Crossing is going to just be adding to that. Restaurant-wise, you have all of the major big chains that you can imagine, like Zaxby's and Starbucks and McDonald's and all that sort of thing. But there's also some really great mom and pop independent restaurants in the Fuquay-Varina area, including the Mason Jar Tavern, the Aviator Smokehouse, Eggs Up Grill, and many, many others. For the outdoor lovers out there, Fuquay-Varina's got you covered as well. There's the Bass Lake Park and South Park right there in Fuquay-Varina. Another great thing that's just recently come online is that about 3 miles from downtown Fuquay-Varina is an interchange getting you on the newly completed Interstate 540. This means residents of Fuquay-Varina can easily get to the airport, to Research Triangle Park, Apex, Cary, all of the sections of the triangle that are out to the west, things that were a little bit more difficult for people that lived in Fuquay in the past. Interstate 540 has now changed that and made that a much easier commute. Prices in Fuquay-Varina are pretty diverse as well, ranging currently from about $195,000 up to $1.7 million for a home currently in Fuquay-Varina. And of course, as we've touched on, there's a lot of new construction going on in Fuquay-Varina. We want to touch on a couple of those now. Academy Village is a mixed-use development that's coming online now in Fuquay-Varina. It will have a 52,000 square foot Lowe's grocery store right there in the community, as well as apartments and 50 high-end luxury townhomes right there in the community. It's going to be super, super walkable to a good portion of Fuquay-Varina based on its location. And of course, Serenity is another huge development that's coming about right now in Fuquay-Varina. Our team has already sold a number of homes in this neighborhood. It's got a really, really great kind of farm table theme to it. and it's been very, very well received by everyone that we've shown the property to. It's sitting on over 550 acres. And again, it's one of the most popular communities in the Raleigh Triangle area right now. There's even a 55 plus community right there in Serenity, as well as regular single family homes and townhomes. And of course, Serenity has some of the best neighborhood amenities around. We've talked about Serenity in our top neighborhoods with amazing amenities video that we did a few months back. Definitely recommend you check that out. As I said, Serenity has got some really, really great farm table amenities. There's a post office right there in the community. The community center has got a very rural country vibe to it. It's just really very peaceful, tranquil neighborhood that a lot of people really, really enjoy. Pools, everything you can imagine is in Serenity. So if Fuquay-Varina is a place that you're thinking about moving to, definitely we recommend checking that out. Reach out to us. We're happy to get you some more information about it. Next up, we have another town that was really a sleepy little town for so long, but has really exploded recently, and that is Garner, North Carolina. Garner has grown from 31,000 people in 2020 all the way up to 45,000 people today. And in fact, it ranks 10th in the entire United States for fastest growing cities with at least 20,000 residents. So as you can imagine, rapid growth. One of the most compelling things about Garner is that you can be in downtown Raleigh in about 15 minutes. So that means you can live in Garner, go have fun and have dinner, shopping, etc. in downtown Raleigh and be there super fast. And of course, when you factor in the cost of housing, Garner looks very attractive. And of course, because of its location, you've got all of the stuff in downtown Raleigh right there at your doorstep. But as far as shopping strictly in Garner goes, you've got some really good big box stuff like the White Oak Crossing Shopping Center, where the area's only Cabela's is located. Also in that complex, there's the Walmart, the Target, and of course, tons of other stuff. And also, we can't forget to tell you in Garner, relatively new Costco, probably the biggest one in our area. There's a Starbucks out front of that and a Chick-fil-A, so it's a really great shopping experience for people in Garner. It's also pretty close to Fuquay-Varina, pretty easy for Raleigh citizens to get there as well. Really great complex right there, driving that growth in Garner. And just like all the other towns we've talked about on this list, Garner has you covered if you're an outdoor lover. There's the White Deer Park, Lake Benson Park, and Garner Recreational Park, among many others right there in Garner. Prices in Garner currently have a pretty good range as well, ranging from $215,000 all the way up to $1.8 million for homes in the Garner area. New neighborhoods we need to tell you about coming soon to Garner include Golden Trace. This is a single family home development with 3 to 5 bedrooms. This is a single family home development. The homes will have between 3 and 5 bedrooms and between 2,000 and 3,000 square feet for each home. There's also George's Landing. Now, George's Landing has a Raleigh address, but it is right there in Garner. Super popular neighborhood. Our team has sold a good number of homes in this neighborhood. Very popular, as I said. It's only about 14 minutes to downtown Raleigh from George's Landing. And homes here range from about 300,000 up to 700,000 currently. And George's Landing has some really great neighborhood amenities, including a dog park, pocket parks for the family, really great community pool, cabana, lazy river and walking trails, and it's attached to the Wake County Greenway system. So again, George's Landing, a really great community in Garner. Definitely somewhere we recommend you check out if you're looking to move to the Garner area. And of course, our team can provide you some more information and get you connected to the builders there in the neighborhood. So these towns and cities are just a few of the booming towns that are in the Raleigh area. If you are considering a move to our area, reach out to us. We'll be happy to get you connected with the home of your dreams. Check out this video. We think you're really going to like this one as well. Like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.